your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the Internet's most passionate wine program, and I am live on the Thunder Cruise. And you missed it. Let me start by saying this has been an unbelievably humbling, phenomenal, heartwarming, palate-expanding, Jerome jumping over the bar serving people kind of week. And it's been fantastic because the people here are absolutely spectacular human beings. We've been having a great time, and it's a week I will never forget. And I just want to say thank you to all of you in the room. Business, as we have to do a show, and we've got 3 wines in front of me here today, 2 of which were at our brand tasting, and one that Carlos from Panama brought, who, by the way, is recording the show. Let's give it up for Carlos. Just for all you maniacs out there, I know Carlos has been doing the Oak Monster prematurely often. And he's been laughing like the Wicked Witch of the West often. So, let's get into the wines. Everybody, or a lot of you have the ability to have this Chardonnay out there. Carlos, you can zoom in on this? All right. What we have in front of us is the Bouchain Napa Valley Carnero Chardonnay Estate 2006. This wine comes from 25-year-old vines, is in the $15 to $18 price range, and is a winery that's been doing a pretty good job with Burgundian flavors of Chard and Pinot Noir. Let's give it a pour. It's a little bit colder than we normally do on the Thunder Show. Let's give it a little bit of a whirl. Now, all of you that have it out there, let's give it one massive, collective, sniffy sniff. Jose. The first thing I pick up on the nose is a little bit of like a baked apple component, almost like, baked apples. Almost Granny Smith-like, more of a green peeled apple component, a little burnt action as well, little wood, a little like cedar on the nose. There's a little hint of almost like creamsicle on the back end as well. Let's give it a whirl. First of all, Carlos, I'm devastated. I was really hoping this would happen. I was hoping this was Oak Monster. It's not. Second of all, there's some pretty good acidity on the back end. I'm quite surprised on the acid level of this wine. I think it's pretty solid. Now, all of a sudden, as I'm yapping away on the mic, I am picking up a little bit of that burnt oak on the back end, which isn't too bad, mixed in with a pear component, almost like pear puree, like smushed pears. There's also a hint of almost like applesauce cinnamon thing going on. I really feel like I just ate a little applesauce. Mixed it with a little acid on the back end, not too bad. A little flat and a hair boring on the finish, I would say. Let's give it one more shot. How many people out there that tried it liked it? Make some noise. Disliked it. Well, it's the last day. I feel like everything. To me, the finish is a little bit boring. It's a little kind of one-dimensional. Reminds me of a lot of $12 Chardonnays that are out there all over the place. It's okay, but I'm not super excited about it. I definitely wouldn't go in that 15 and over price range for this. To me, it's a classic 87, 86 plus, 85. Let's go 86 plus points of this wine, and I'd probably have to give it a pass. If it was an $8, $7, $10 Chardonnay, not even 10, $7, $8, $9 from, let's say, Australia, this would be what I'd be looking for. Other than that, I think, it just lacks any kind of character or second-tier flavors that are going to get me excited outside of casually drinking on a Wednesday night and watching TV and drinking this. So, at the end of the day, kind of a meh wine. By the way, meh has now turned into a goo. And let's move on. Wine number 2, Domaine del Presidente, 2000. 2007 Côte d'Or Grand Classique. This is a wine Carlos gave to me. Oh, Robbie jumping in the mix. There you go, Robbie. Good job on the zoom in. Your afro got into my vision there, buddy. Carlos, what kind of price range are you looking at?
$12.
US in Hannah? Okay, which would mean it's probably $4 at Wine Library. It's Côte d'Or, probably Syrah Grenache base. Let's give this wine a sniffy sniff.
Sniffity sniff.
Get a little cherry on the nose, not too bad. A little strawberry action as well, almost like strawberry Twizzlers. You know what this actually smells like as well? Do you remember those little things that were tied up in white paper and you throw it and it make a snap sound? Yeah. What are those? Caps, poppers, all right. Here we go into the regional stuff we've been dealing with all week. It's pop. I know it's soda. It kind of smells after you slam a bunch of those on the ground, that aftertaste. It's almost like charcoal, ashy, gunpowdery thing going on in the nose, mixed in with that cherry strawberry action. Let's give it a whirl. Good tannin structure on the back end. Little hints of creaminess. I like the roundness of the mouthfeel. However, this wine goes a little bit Casper the Friendly Ghost on me. About third quarter in, it disappears off the palate. As a matter of fact, as I sit now in front of all of you, I feel like I have not drunk anymore. And that's a little bit of a concern. Let me get one more shot before I totally diss it. I also have a little concern of the alcohol content on the initial attack. I do feel a little bit too much alcohol. Comes with a back end of really nice firm tannins. It is a young wine, and it hasn't been open very long, so let's keep that in mind. It's an 07, which is a very, 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 very exciting vintage in the Rhone Valley. However, this wine is not good. It's off balanced. It lacks much structure. I get pleasure for about 0.06 seconds. That angers me. I'm not mad at you, Carlos, but I'm mad at the wine. I'm going to score this wine a 71 and give it a major pass.
Throw Carlos off the ship.
It is what it is. All right, over 2 minutes. Let's go to Washington State. Vano, Goose Ridge Vineyards, 2002 Columbia Valley Red, in the $20, $30, or $40 range. It is a blend of 42% Cab, 33% Syrah, 25% Merlot, and it is from Columbia Valley. Walla Walla continues to get all the fame. Columbia Valley, Washington beats in the hizzy. How many people from the great state of Washington? Make some noise. Sarah, you were dissing Washington all week, but when it came time for this, you were raising your hand high. All right, let's give this wine a sniffy sniff. Big nose, big fruit, which is nice. Very dark, candy-esque flavors. Blackberry, blackcurrant, black marmalade jam in my nose. Marmalade. A little black pepper as well. Little beef jerkiness too, a little gaming action on that second tier underneath that dark fruit. Let's give it a whirl. Carlos, can you zoom in on this? I got an enormous piece of cork in my mouth. By far the largest piece of cork to ever enter my mouth in an episode of Wine Library TV, right here, right now with you guys. Enormous. Let's give it a whirl. Sorry. Big fruit. This is a very tricky bottle of red wine. It's almost got seductive characteristics, and you can get caught by a wine like this. So be careful. Big, dark blackberry jam rounds out the initial attack. Then on the mid palate, there's a little. It's a baby. It just grabs it, but you can get off of it. A little baby oak monster in the middle. It's almost like creme brulee action. Very creamy cedar box component. A hint of tobacco. Then it goes into this really long, silky cherry thing on the finish, which is fine. However, it is a little overdone. It's a little too much makeup. That can trick you too. Remember that at home. So, what you want to do is you want to retaste it. But in this case, this wine is bringing a little bit of thunder. Yeah. It's not so shabby. Now, a lot has to do with the excitement level, if it is in the $20, $30, or $40 range, but on its merits, this is a substantially strong wine. I have not had any wines that I can recall from Goose Ridge Vineyards, and this wine has given a very, very solid first impression. I get a little bit of like an Asian spice component in the back end. I'm really enjoying that tobacco that continues to linger. The finish is long and juicy, and that's a very good thing. I like this wine. I think it has the potential to last 7 to 15 years easily. I think it's drinking quite well now. I think 2 to 3 hours of decanting will taste even better. The ship is starting to shake profusely.
Backing out the port.
Backing out of the port, thank you. And this is the kind of wine that you want to pair with a big meat dish, filet mignon, things of that nature, and you can put on the extra sauce easily. I'm going to score this wine 91 plus points. I'm going to tell you something. It has the big fruit, but it has the balance and elegance of almost a Bordeaux wine. And again, reminds me why Columbia Valley may be slightly underrated, in the overall aspect of how people view Washington State wines. I like this wine. I'm extremely curious how quickly the 200 people in front of me are going to run up to try to finish off the 85% left in this bottle. And most of all, I'm darn excited that I panned Carlos's wine in his face. Okay. Question of the day. It's a very simple one.
Why aren't you here? What do you have?
Jose, today. Very simple question. Why aren't you here? With a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world, whether they like it or not. Everybody that's standing right now, free shipping for the rest of the year.